What are the top 5 most expensive big bikes at the start of 2021? As fast as the world is diving headlong to a massive sea of upheavals, a lot has also changed. Since we last featured the top 10 most expensive big motorbikes in the world. For one thing, the new lowest entry at number 10 clocks at almost 130 grand more than its predecessor, while the $1 million tag price of the previous number 1, the highly regarded Cosmic Starship by Harley Davidson, seems paltry. Now compared to the latest title holder, Neumann Marcus Limited Edition Fighter, which clips the bar at an awesome $11 million mark. So, start off the engine and let's roll on to the most expensive motorcycles you can have this year. Number 5. BMS Nemesis $3 million. The first thing you would notice about the BMS Nemesis is the yellow glitter and absence of side stand, making it look like it's lying flat on its underbelly like a marooned whale. Would it even run? You ask yourself. In fact, it would. Fully functional, it incorporates an air ride system that, along with the single-sided swing-arm rear suspension, can lift the motorcycle 10 inches or lower it right onto the ground. This renders a side stand unnecessary, as Nemesis softly lands on its frame rails when it's time to park. As for the yellow glitter, that's the 24-karat gold for you. This easily explains the $3 million tag price, and everyone sure would understand if you wouldn't want to let it out of your house from the day of purchase. Most likely you'd want a showroom installed in front of the house, raised to a spectacular level so everybody gets a good view of your jewel. Make the showroom at least large enough to move about a bit with the Nemesis for more satisfaction. Number 4. Hildebrand and Wolfmuller $3.5 million. History is expensive, and at $3.5 million your purchase would send you back 124 years ago to 1894 when this first production motorcycle appeared on the scene. Heinrich and Wilhelm Hildebrand were steam engine engineers before they teamed up with Alois Wolfmuller to produce their internal combustion motorrad in Munich in 1894. This momentous event started sending the flesh and blood steeds out of fashion, reinventing themselves as emblem of the refined gentry, while the special breed of men simply moved on and transferred their affections to the two-wheeled metallic petrol-guzzling steeds that took over the roads. If you manage to get your hands on this and want to literally have a go at history by testing how it handles on the road, better watch for a bit of fun fact. With neither clutch nor pedal, be prepared to run and jump with this ancient one. On the other hand, your family, financial advisor, or friends would probably just drag you and bike to safety like the madman you are for putting such a substantial investment at risk. Number 3. Kawasaki ES1 Spirit $3.6 million. When a bike manufacturer requires even a professional driver to first take a 2-week training before trying to ride one of its models, you just know something is up with this bike. And why not, indeed. This is not two-wheel machine as traditionally defined. First, there is no chassis framework to speak of. Swing arm and rear suspension attached to the gearbox, and front suspension to the engine. The much-touted 265-pound spec of a weight comes from eliminating the extra pounds associated with transmitting front wheel forces up a slender fork through a steering head then back down to the rest of the machine. The front suspension consists of twin arms, projecting forward, their apices defining a steer axis and carrying an upright from which projects the front wheel spindle. The lower arm is, in effect, a single-sided swing arm. To avoid the muddy steering feel of earlier articulated front ends, the handlebars are on the upward projected steer axis, their motion so defined that resulting feel will be like that of the familiar direct steering telescopic fork. An integrated bespoke transverse inline-4 engine. Driver sitting in a position that allows the knees to be close to the body for greater ergonomics and control. That unique front and back carbon fiber suspension, and handlebars mounted to the front fork for superior front tire control all enable the ES1 Spirit to perform like a truly F1 car as its two British and American engineers envisioned. Nothing better caps these impressive technical details than the knowledge that the likely purchaser is going to be only one of 10 exclusive owners of this two-wheel heaven. Number 2. 1949 E90 AJS Porcupine $7 million. A bike manufacturer with a rich history and winning racetrack heritage marred by several financial turbulence early on, AJS could only manage to produce 4 Porcupine units in 1949. As it turned out, one of these under the very able hands of Les Graham won the 1949 World Championship. An open-frame, aluminium alloy, 500cc, DOHC twin engine with horizontal cylinders and heads give the Porcupine a low center of gravity. It uses what's called jam pot shocks and telehydraulic race forks. The design and manufacturing decisions made by AJS first through the original owners and then through the succeeding ones read like a virtual and veritable source of what-to-do ideas for any aspiring bike professional. Having lived through the Cold War itself, the veteran Porcupine then spent 20 years in the Coventry National Motorcycle Museum before being made available for the refined enthusiast with a deep pocket to match. Number 1. Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter, $11 million. Steampunk triumphs with the Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter. That's out first thing. Now to the details. Whoever saw it coming that Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter would later claim pole position at any top 10 list of big bikes is probably a seer of the highest order, especially when one considers how it began the market at a humble $110,000. And mind you, Neiman Marcus is a name you would rightly connect with department store rather than a superbike. The unique clockwork design, however, seems to have taken care of all that. The bike's eye-catching chassis, carved from a single piece of metal, proved to be an extreme hit with enthusiasts. As it turned out, even Apple just used the same approach for its new laptop case at the time. Many design experts agree. This is styling at its best, where the utility of the vehicle is styled rather than hidden from sight. When reviewers first saw the bike, they were simply knocked over by its evolutionary style. Neiman rightly pounced on the immediate trance-like reaction and came up with this line. It's an evolution of the machine, at once taken back down to its core elements while being reinvented and re-engineered for optimal performance. It's our street-legal sci-fi dream come to life, in the form of the limited edition fighter motorcycle. How limited? As it stands, only 45 of this fighter is ever released in the market. Despite the $11 million price tag and mean looks, the Neiman Marcus limited edition fighter is completely street legal, managing the road at a 190 mph top speed. The power coming from a 120C 45-degree air-cooled V-twin engine complemented by titanium, aluminum, and carbon fiber body parts. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe.